Chloe Swarbrick.
E te Premier, e tautoko ana ia I ngā kōrero me ngā mahi katoa a tōna kāwanatanga.
Yes.
Right Honourable Christopher Luxon.
What is the effective tax rate paid by the wealthiest 1% of New Zealanders, and why is it half the effective tax rate of the average hard-working New Zealander?
We have a progressive income tax system in New Zealand, and the more money you earn, the more tax you pay. It's somewhat ironic because she and her party did not support basic tax relief for low and middle income working New Zealanders. It wasn't ideological, it was pretty simple up and down vote. Do you lift the tax thresholds for low and middle income working New Zealanders? And Labour, the Greens and Te Pāti Māori all said no, because you do not care about working New Zealanders, period. When a government increases spending by 84% and it drives up inflation from up to 7.3%, that then leads to higher interest rates. They went up 12 times. High interest rates puts an economy into recession and people lose their jobs. The consequence of all of that is that working and middle income New Zealanders got incredibly hurt and damaged.
So when does he expect his tax cuts and public service cuts to trickle down?
Well, the good news is that the economy is growing now in this quarter. We have job ads up, we have building consents up, we have exports up, we have interest rates down, we have inflation down, we have business confidence up 8 points, we have farmer confidence at a good level. We've got a core building hotels now, 49th going on to their 50th. We've got Ports of Auckland and Freightways talking about good activity. Loan arrears are down, so they are all positive signs. This is a government that realised about $40 billion of back office inefficiency, deployed it to the front line, including almost $17 billion in healthcare in our first budget, and a no further increase of 6 to 7% in our second budget.
Well done.
Honourable Shane Jones.
On the matter of government actions, can the Prime Minister confirm, by exempting a substantial number of companies from the onerous obligation of reporting mythical climate emissions, that our economy will be better off for it?
Anything that lowers compliance and regulation and red tape and green tape is a good thing for New Zealand, because we've got to get the show unblocked and get it moving. And again, I just say to the opposition parties, support our fast-track legislation and mining.
Chloe Swarbrick.
Does the Prime Minister agree with the assertion from his minister just then that climate emissions are, quote, mythical?
He didn't make that assertion. He said climate reporting that is adding huge amounts of cost and compliance to businesses is a waste of time.
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
Point of order, Chloe Swarbrick.
We have demonstrable evidence almost immediately that the Minister said precisely that.
I do believe that the Minister did use the word mythical in his question, so. About climate reporting, though, wasn't it?
Try again.
It was about climate reporting, right?
Madam Speaker, if I recall correctly, it was about reporting on mythical climate emissions.
Okay, so
about reporting.
The mythology refers to the beliefs of the party across the road. They are the ones who introduced that policy. It is mythical because it's disappeared.
Sorry, is this a point of order or a question?
I'm speaking to the point of order, in which I asked the Prime Minister a very straightforward question, whether he agreed with the assertion from one of his ministers about whether climate changing emissions were mythical or not.
And the Minister just clarified that the policy was now mythical because the policy was no longer in place. So
Madam Speaker?
So we've clarified that. Now, is this a new question?
I guess I just have a question for the House about whether the truth matters anymore.
No, Okay, order, please. Yes, the truth does matter, and we're going to move on to questions. Quiet, please. I've got a point of order from the Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Madam Speaker, the last question is utterly offensive to this House. It's not within standing orders or Speaker's rulings or any other procedure passed except that I would know. Of course I'd know, far more than you, Sunshine. And that's why I'm raising this point of order. That member should be required to stand now and apologise to the House.
No, we're moving on.
Does the Prime Minister stand by his answer to the Greens in Question Time December 2023 when he said, and I quote, We're not weakening our actions on climate change, we're just going about it in a different way, end quote, when his government has just announced weakening our methane targets by halving them.
Well, I think we've been very clear about our position on methane targets. We have the best farmers in the world. We have the most carbon efficient farmers in the world. The madness of the previous administration of sending production offshore to less carbon and productive efficient countries makes global greenhouse gas emissions worse. We want to maintain our delivery of our commitments that we have.
Quiet during questions, please.
Does the Prime Minister understand that government policy which increases climate changing emissions will ultimately increase New Zealanders' cost of living?
We're not going to drive our farmers offshore and shut down farming production in New Zealand. We are not here to punish our farmers. They are the best in the world. They are the most carbon efficient in the world, and we back them to succeed out there in the real world.
Is the Prime Minister aware that for every government action that increases emissions, we become more liable to pay billions of dollars offshore for other countries to reduce their emissions?
Well, I'm not punishing New Zealand farmers in any stretch of the imagination. These are the farmers that get up early each and every day. This is the farming sector that's pulling New Zealand out of the recession that the Labour Greens government created. We are backing our farmers. We are not punishing our farmers. They do an outstanding job, and we've got the right policy to help them.
Point of order.
Point of order, Chlöe Swarbrick.
The question was specifically about our constructive liabilities under the Paris Agreement, which the Prime Minister should understand, and the fact that if we are not reducing our climate changing emissions domestically, then we have liability to pay other countries to do that. He did not even address the question.
Does the Prime Minister want to expand, please, on the liability part of that question?
This is a government that is doing everything it can to meet its climate obligations, including net zero 2050. And based off our latest emissions plan reductions plans, there's a possibility we may even do it earlier.
The supplementary, Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Prime Minister, when you were answering that question, were you giving the answer to the Maori version or the English translation version, given that the latter is not an accurate translation of the former?
Well, can I just be unambiguous in either te reo or English that we are backing farmers, our policy is the right one. We're going to make sure that we deliver on our commitments, but importantly we are powering up this economy and we are all about economic growth.
Yeah. I actually think that wasn't an actual question. The translation is not the Prime Minister's responsibility. It's part of the question.
Supplementary question?
This is supplementary to question 7. Honourable Shane Jones.
Question to the Prime Minister. Is he aware that one of the most wealthiest men in New Zealand has abandoned the hyperbole and hysteria of climate change in the form of Bill Gates?
What I'm aware of is that if you want to back climate change, you would support fast-track legislation. You'd support mining for critical earth minerals. You would support ending the oil and gas ban because actually that's what's needed in this country.
Point of order, Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, the translation may be not the Prime Minister's role or responsibility, but I asked the question as to what he was answering, the Maori version or the English version. And you thought you'd dismiss it by saying, well, we all know that it's not his responsibility. So let's have this question. Why aren't you fulfilling your responsibility and your staff getting it right in the first place?
I'm not accepting that point of order. This is a translated question which has been on notice for today, and it's on the translation various other days. The Prime Minister is well aware of what the question means, and I'm moving on.